Hey guys, it's day 187. It's I'm really trying to go every day, so I went again today. And was I sore like from yesterday? Yes. Did I really have anything left to like go hard in? No. But I just was like, okay, just like do rehab again, and maybe if I just like keep doing rehab every day, even though it feels like I'm not doing anything, um, it will be better than me like actually not doing anything for weeks, and it'll increase my work capacity maybe, and hopefully, I can actually start pulling at practice again instead of like having to say no to everyone, pull 3 people, and then just lose to every single person in the club for the next 3 hours, right? So um I don't, maybe I could have done it, but I'm being careful, like, because my shoulders, like, I'm going to practice tomorrow, and I know my shoulders are gonna, like, if my shoulders are like too sore, it's just gonna limit me like right away. So I didn't want to do my usual like extension, like tricep extension thing, but I still wanted to do it because I feel like it really feels good. And I don't know, because I was talking to Paul about how I feel like it's rehabilitative, and he doesn't really think so, but like I believe it is, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But yeah, I just basically did the same thing with a little bit lighter resistance. And it's very light. Like I did so this I'm doing with 20 pounds. And I feel like the first set was like kind of easy, but then towards the end it really got pretty heavy, and I feel like I'm still figuring out how to do it really, but so far it feels pretty fun, and like it doesn't feel it gets me pumped, but it doesn't really make me sore, so I like it. I don't know if I'm doing it exactly like Mindogs does it, but I feel like if I just keep doing it on my own, I'll sort of figure out the idea behind it on my own, like by myself anyways. But yeah, this one, I feel like I started off going a little bit lighter, but I realized I feel like you can't go too light on this. Like it's got to be at least a little bit hard, I feel like, to get the form down. So so I'm doing the 20s, even though like I'm super sore. Like I feel like, yeah, 20 is like about as light as I probably would ever go. And I feel like I could do this like decently heavy too, maybe like 30 pounds, 35 pounds, because it's a lot of it is just static. You're not really curling it as much. And I wanted to do some wrist because it's like that's the only thing that I could think of that I could really do before the day of practice and like sort of be fine. But then I was a little bit worried about this like TFCC pin I have. So I went slow, and it was hurting actually. But then, and I was like, do I have to like reduce the weight? But I was only going 25 pounds, right? And like I wanted to stick to that with my left. And I was like, it's going to be so annoying. And I honestly, I had a little bit of ego thing where I'm like, do I really have to go down from 25 pounds? But I tried it again the next set, and like it stopped hurting. So I just finished it out. And I think it shouldn't really bother me tomorrow because like I went so late, and it's just like wrist curls. I should be able to feel pretty fresh anyways. Like, I mean, it used to be that I feel like my wrist wouldn't even get tired at practice. Recently it definitely is. And it's like injured, so hopefully it holds up. But yeah, basically I just did a repeat of that, and then at one point I did like I finished, like I didn't want to do more than 3 sets of the dumbbell like tossing, and then so I was like, I kind of ran out of stuff to do because I was gonna do 6 sets of the wrist, and I wanted to like superset everything because I'm like, I mean, I want to space those sets out, and then I'm going so light that I might as well be doing something else. And even doing it this way, it took me like an hour. I mean, I did some cardio at the beginning and stuff, but I feel like just because it's like so light and high volume, it takes a long time. But anyways, so I did a few like little like wrist micro movements that I like never do anymore. Haven't done in so long. Um, I feel like they're not like that effective, honestly, for training, but I feel like that's also because I think I'm being I'm like reacting to the overreaction, which is like people, that's all they do, and they consider that like a workout, is they just like fidget their wrist around, and they're like, whoa, like I'm training like Devin. It's so specific, but I feel like, you're using tiny movements, tiny muscles, where you could be strengthening your elbow flexion, elbow joint, like shoulder, like wrist flexion, like I mean, those things are definitely, in my opinion, like they're more important, but I mean, but also it's good, right, to do it. And definitely I need to work on, like, for example, like my left riser is like incredibly weak, like actively and statically, but like statically maybe it's like the way Devin does it, like 40, like 45. I don't know if I've ever done 45, but it's somewhere around there. And my right's not much better. I think the most I've done was 50 or 55. But yeah, like even when I was doing the rubber bands, like I feel like my left is just, it feels like about 10 to 15 pounds of pressure, and I just can't even, like on the table, like if someone actually like loads up, like I can't even attempt to break it. So I I don't even know, like I feel like my left is maybe just like seriously, my wrist is just not quite healthy or injured. I don't know, because like it's never been, like maybe since I'm trying to remember if my wrist was always floppy from the beginning, like maybe a little bit, but I definitely tweaked it. Like I remember a specific pull that I had, but it might not even be that one time. It's just maybe it was over time, but yeah, like my wrist is like dislocated in a little bit, not like literally dislocated, but in terms of how it looks, right? Just so you can get an idea. Like if you watch me do any like wrist curls, it looks weird. Like suppose like on my right, I feel like flat. I feel connected when it's flat. On my left, because it's like set in like an inch from my forearm, like my wrist, like my palm starts like an inch inside, right? Um, like deviated in from my forearm. So, and then whenever I like, my wrist is under load, I feel like it comes out even more, and it doesn't feel connected at all. And also my setup is shit, because what feels to me is straight, as in the angle of my palm is parallel, right, to the angle of, like if I'm just looking at my hand, where, right, like my palm, like I'm looking at the top of my, not the top, like the top ridge of my hand, right, and then, like I'm looking at my hand in the arm wrestling setup, my forearm line, right, is parallel to the back of my palm, but then because my wrist is set in on the wrist joint, it looks like it's bent. So like in order for me to look straight in the setup, especially if someone's loading in, like I have to start like the back of my palm has to be like pointing way kicked back in order for my wrist joint to look flat, right? So I can never ever fucking get a start that feels connected to me if the refs actually like care about that, which I guess sometimes they don't, and I'm like, okay. And anyways, yeah, so that's like kind of frustrating, and I just feel like my stability is like, I mean, obviously training can mitigate it a little bit, but I don't freaking train my right that much either, for my wrist, and like just the stability is just totally different. Like I feel like I like really can't do anything with like Sheen and like Darren, like maybe a little bit, but and I feel like, I don't know, like in other strengths I feel like good, like I should be able to deal with them. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And then, yeah, basically just like the same thing. And yeah, like it's like not that interesting. I just feel like it's just like so boring. Just doing rehab, and then I also didn't really want to like put music because then it's like also boring. Like I feel like music only works if it like if it sits in the background. Like if the music, like I feel like music will not make something boring interesting on its own. Like it might make something that's already interesting like even better, but um not that anyone like really like sits and watches this, but I feel like if like I'm just talking, at least there's that like morbid curiosity, like, right, like you're like, oh, like if there's a car crash happening, like maybe I'll like, you know, look at what's going on kind of thing. So like it's like somewhat entertaining. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. My weight's like back up a little bit, I think. Well, I haven't weighed myself like just now, but I'm trying not to be like too light. Like I think I want to be above 170. I feel like this morning I was 170, so that's good. And I'm like still obviously like pretty lean. Like I'm not I don't feel fat, so hopefully I can sort of sit around 173, 4-ish, and like, you know, if I'm bloated, 176. I feel like that would be a good weight for me. Like I was like 164 in the morning, like a week ago, and that was like too light, I think. And yeah, like we'll see how I feel, because I'll actually like move my arm around a little bit during the week. Probably right away I won't be much better. If anything, maybe a bit worse, but I'm hoping over time it pays out or pays off, because I feel like I was always telling myself, oh, like you're not working out, but guess what, like when you start, like it's gonna be crazy, like, you know, like the gains are gonna be insane. And maybe there's a little bit of that like self sabotage thing going on in me, not really sticking to it consistently. But I don't know, it's like really, it's funny because going to the gym is like not hard at all, especially when I'm doing this kind of stuff where I'm just like, this is nothing. Like it like I could like this is like 15% effort on my CNS, right? Like it's so easy. Like it's a little tedious, but it's so easy. I like it, you know, like I'm like only doing arms, like I get pumped, I get a nice selfie, but I just feel like so many things that I actually enjoy, and so many things sometimes that like I don't there's not even any downsides really. Like I just wholeheartedly enjoy it, and then I just like somehow never stick to it. It's just so weird. Like I feel like just I don't have that like enough motivation to get through that like inertia, and just so many things. Like even like I remember when I went like like riding a bike with my friends, I was like, this is so fucking like fun, and I really like it. And I'm like, I should bike all, and I just never ended up biking, like, and like I like don't even have one anymore. But it's like, I don't know, yeah, like I guess, yeah, I sort of talked about it before, where like arm wrestling is like the one thing that I've like sort of stuck to, which very funny thinking about it. But yeah, like if you just look back, it might end up being like the longest thing that I've stuck to, like in my entire life. So I mean, there's got to be something to that at least. Yeah. I don't know, cause like I mean, in a way, like I do. Like, I was gonna say maybe arm wrestling is just easy, but not really, cause I'm like super down to like travel to a practice and stuff, and I guess you wouldn't consider that like very accessible. Well, I guess it's not expensive at least, but that's not really, riding a bike isn't expensive either. But anyways, yeah, it's like I have like nothing to talk about, so just saying like random shit. Oh, um, yeah, I mean, I think I'm like on my last set now, so that's all. Thank you. Bye.